Hey, everybody, welcome to Ronline Report. We're almost at the 2021 Tampa Pro. And right here, I have a guy I haven't seen on stage since the 2019 Tampa Pro, but heavy favorite in my book to win this year's show. Please welcome Charles, the definition, Griffen. What's up, Charles?
What's up, my man? How you doing?
Good. And everybody, it's Griffen.
Yeah, everybody always put that I in. They always spell it wrong. It's En. Yes.
I don't think I've ever met too many people where it's En though, so that's why.
Yeah. We like to be different.
Yeah, I said before we started recording, I missed that voice because sometimes if I interview people and they've never heard the guy talk, and if he doesn't have like a real macho, deep, gravelly voice, they go, "Oh man, I wasn't expecting that squeaky voice of her," but your voice matches your physique perfectly.
Oh yeah.
So since you've been away for a couple of years, let me remind everyone about your career thus far. So you turned pro back in 2015. You were the heavyweight national champion. And then Ferrigno 2016, Ferrigno Legacy, you were fifth place. That was your pro debut. 2017, you did the Cali Pro, 13th. Chicago Pro, you got fourth.
13th. No, I didn't get 13th. Third.
Third. Okay, that's my crappy writing. I was gonna say you didn't get 13th ever, did you? No, okay. And Muscle Mayhem, you took second place to Victor Martinez, and that was the last show Victor's won. I don't know if he's ever going to compete again. Okay, that was a good year for you. 2018, you come back, you take second to Indy Pro to Steve Kuklo. You win the Muscle Mayhem, beating guys like Akeem Williams and Max Charles. Not easy to do. Then you went to Mr. Olympia, and was 13th place, right?
Yeah, that was 13th place.
But that's in the whole world. That's 8 billion people we have here, so that's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
And the last time we saw you on stage was Tampa 2 years ago, right?
Chicago Pro as well, 2019, and I placed second.
Oh, who won that year?
Michael Lockett.
Lockett, right? He won it like 3 years in a row, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, I saw you. Yeah, I was at that show too, but I think Tampa was a little later in the season. Yeah, that was the show that Dexter decided to come out and win that one.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that leads me to, what have you been doing for 2 years?
It's career, it's been 2 years, but I've only missed one competing season. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I competed in 19, and then I took 2020 competing season off, and now I'm competing in 21. So it's like 2 years from the last time I was on stage, but I really only missed one season. One season. That's what it was. Yeah. So, after my placing at Tampa, not being in the first call out for the first time ever, I had decided before COVID hit that I was going to take a little break and to work on some things that I needed to really work on to bring my physique up. And, and then COVID hit, and I wasn't really, I wouldn't say that I was working on my physique really. I kind of, was just working on, I had a lot of stressors and stuff in my life that I had to get out of my life, you know what I mean? That I needed to focus on myself and get myself together, get myself right, get myself back to where Charles needs to be. And, I was kind of beating myself up because I really didn't take that time to work on my physique, because even though the gyms were closed, this and that, I still had a key to my gym, and I was able to train and do this and do that. But I was training, but I wasn't really working on my physique. I was just going through the motions. I was wasn't eating a lot. I was eating like 2 or 3 meals, eating a lot of garbage food. And, I kind of got down on myself, but the way if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change, you know what I mean? So that break I took, it helped me bring my midsection down. It helped me bring my midsection back in. It gave my body that rest that it really needed. Because since 2014, I've been going 2 or 3 shows every year, not taking any breaks. After I get done competing my last show, I'm back on a horse, just going right after. So, I think that taking that break off 2020 and not eating all that food and not training like a madman, I think it really did my body some great, because once I got back on track with Matt and everything like that, my body just took to everything. Everything we did, it just, boom, it changed. Everything we did, boom, it changed. Putting this in, putting that food in. So it all worked out. It all worked out in my favor.
Yeah, I mean, 2020 was a wash for so many people anyway. Even if you go to gyms, if you had, you weren't planning on competing in 2020 anyway, were you?
Yeah, I wasn't planning on competing. I wasn't for sure. I was planning on competing, but maybe later on in the year, I'm just not for sure. I was going to take a break. I don't know. I think I was going to take a little break. Maybe try to compete late in the season. I was going to take like a whole year off from August to August and take a year off. But once COVID hit, I was just like, you know what, let me just hang it up for 2020 and work, focus on other things besides bodybuilding and get everything else together.
Yeah, I mean, you made the right call because so many guys were prepping for shows that got moved months away, months ahead, or they got canceled completely. So people were prepping way longer than they wanted to. They were prepping for shows that didn't end up happening. So yeah, you were much better off in that scenario, even though.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I didn't want to discourage people from competing last year because then we wouldn't have had anybody in the shows. But yeah, so what really got you fire back? What really made you get pumped up about doing this again?
Just like I said, I had different stressors in my life, different relationships in my life that was getting me away from what I love to do and what I love, you know what I mean? And once I got those things out of my life, and I was like, whoa, I still love this. I do love this shit. I do love bodybuilding. I do love the workout. I do love everything. Once I released all that off my system, then I started eating 6 meals. I started getting all my meals down, and everything just started clicking like it normally does. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's when everything, just the hunger started coming. Once I released those things out of my life, and man, it just started, that hunger started coming back, and I started feeling like myself again. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah, you kind of got down on yourself because you weren't training that hard and you weren't eating very much, but that also probably set you up to make some really good new gains because now your body's not used to eating 6 meals a day and you start giving it all that food again. It's not used to training that intense. You know what I mean? You really set yourself up for success that way, I think, because you've always been impressive as far as I've seen you, but these latest pictures, unless you got some crazy filtering and morphing going on in those pictures, man, you put on some real size since the last time I saw you.
This prep was a little different because I usually, like, if I'm 280, I'm like 200. I got up to 285, 283. My body doesn't work good at that weight. My knees, everything just sucks at that weight. And I can't move. I can't do well at that weight. You know what I mean? So 2019 season, that's when I got up to 285, and I wasn't able to really train how I wanted to train on legs, this and that, because hauling around that extra weight, it was just bad on me. And I could not perform like I needed to perform. So this time around, I started out prep a little lighter, you know what I mean? And I grew into the show. So my body was able to train like I needed to train. I was able to go hard like I was able to do. And I grew into the show, and for a while there, Matt was changing my plan and doing this and doing that, and my body weight was just staying the same, and I was just changing. My body composition was just changing. For a while there, it was like for some weeks there, I say about 8 or 9 weeks, I had only lost like 2 pounds, but my whole body composition changed. And it was a little mind fuck at first because I'm used to starting from up here. Now I'm starting up from a softer look, a little smaller look. And I was like, man, what's going to happen? Then all of a sudden things just started clicking, and it was just like, whoa, like, okay, I see what's going on here. My weight is staying the same, but my body's looking totally different week to week, week to week, week to week. So it all worked out.
Yeah. So knowing, this is the first prep, I assume that you've done it that way, right?
Yeah, this is the first prep I've done that way. And, this is the way I'm going to have to do it, because like me getting that heavy, if I can't perform like that, there's no reason for me to get that heavy. You know what I mean? If I can't train like I need to train. So I'm not going to get up to 280s and stuff like that, because it's just, my body just doesn't work well at that weight. So yeah, this is the first prep where I've done this at, and it's been great. It's been great.
So I'm glad you say that, because there's a lot of people out there, they're never going to be able to get that heavy, but they fantasize about it. Man, I wish I could be 280 or 300 pounds. And man, but it's probably not as fun as it when you actually are that weight as it seems like it would be. Because
yeah. Oh, like I got up to 280 some, and yeah, I was a little bigger that year, but it wasn't I was a little bigger, weighed a little bit more on stage, but the negative versus to the positive, it was more negative than positive. You know what I mean? Because I wasn't able to work on the things that I need to work on because my body wasn't working that well at that weight. So, you know, yeah, I like the look of being 280, 285, looking like a freak. I like that, but I couldn't perform at that weight. So that it just doesn't work with me going up to that heavy. Yeah. So
how long you been working with Matt Jansen, who I should note is also coach of 212 Olympia champion Sean Clarita, New York Pro champion Nick Walker, Keon Pearson just won Chicago Pro. Is this your first prep, or have you been working with Matt for a while?
I've been working with Matt for a while. I've been working with Matt. So I placed second at when my first coach. I've only had two coaches my whole career, and every time when my first coach, we'd be hitting it, we'd be looking very good the day before the show, 2 days before the show, and then we always missed the mark the day of the show. So when I placed second to Crew Cloak at Indy, how I was looking the day before and 2 days before, I should have won Indy, but we just kept missing the mark. So I had to do that hard decision. I'm a loyal person, but I had to do that hard decision and move elsewhere. And then that's when I started training with Matt. And I trained with Matt since 2018, my first pro win, Muscle Mayhem.
Oh, right on. Yeah. I mean, he's definitely made a name for himself in a very short time, considering some of these other guys have been doing it. God, Aceto's been coaching people for like 30 years. So
yeah,
good call. So
I retire with Matt. I won't use any other coach, man. Like, he truly cares. Like, even when I was taking that little break off from bodybuilding, this and that, I kind of lost contact with him. I wasn't really checking in. I wasn't really doing that. And he knew I was going through some things, but he kept, reaching out, letting me know whatever I need, buddy. I got you, this and that, that, and that. I'm just not like a number on the paper to him. He truly cares, this and that. So he puts his all into it. So that's why when I was taking that little break, I had to step away, because I know Matt going 100%. And then if I'm going 60%, that don't serve him right. So that's why I had to take a break and get my stuff together. And then once I was ready to get back on it, and here we are. So, yeah.
So you talked about work. You weren't really working on things you needed to work on. You clearly have been working on everything, because you're quite a bit larger than what I recall. What were you focusing on the most in this past off season?
I just been focused on everything. You know what I mean? I've been focused on everything. Bringing up my quads. To bring up my quads. This was like, because I always got up heavy. I always had to get up super heavy, and I'm like, when I'm that heavy, I'm trying to do legs, quads, this and that. It was all, I could never train like I needed to train. So this year, when me starting out lower, I was able to train heavy on my quads and, bring my quads up some. And you know what I mean? I'm excited for this year. I'm excited to go out here in Tampa and win Tampa and to get to that Olympia stage. And then I'm excited for that next off season, to where I know that I'm not going to get up to this heavy weight, and I know what weight I need to get to in order to bring my quads up even more, and in order to bring up everything else I need even more. So I'm just excited, man. I'm excited to be back and excited to be, taking off in the morning, go to Tampa. You know what I mean? So
yeah, that's right. Yeah, because we're taping this on a Tuesday, guys. You go on stage on Saturday because you're open man. Yeah, so it's coming right up. Yeah, it's a good point you make, because leg training in particular, you have to have pretty good cardiovascular fitness to do the squats, the leg press, the hack squats, the lunges at the intensity level.
The cardiovascular wasn't the problem. It was just like the stiffness and the achiness in my knees when I'm 285. That's where it was bothering me at. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I could go real light and do some pump stuff, but I've been loading up the hack squat and having 9-10 plates on the hack squat up until, last week. My last quad day this Sunday, I didn't go that heavy, but up until last week, I was going, pushing that. And that's something else I've done different this prep is I always train heavy. I always go heavy, always do that. But once I start to get lower in the lower digits of numbers in prep, I'm not going to say I never lift just for a pump. I never do that, but I lighten the weight up a little bit. But this time I just been going kamikaze. I just been leaving the weight heavy and just pushing it all the way through prep and everything like that. So even this past Sunday on a hack squat, I got up to 9 plates on there. And, it was just like, I just kept the weights heavy throughout the whole prep, and like I that I never lifted just for a pump. That's bullshit, you know, lifting just for a little pump. But I would lighten the weight up a little bit and try to go a little safer so I don't injure myself. This time around, I was just like, you know what, man, we keeping the pedal to the metal and I'm keeping the weights heavy and we just going to keep that nasty, dense muscle. So that's what I've done this prep. Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah. I mean, I've talked to people who regret lightening up at the end because they say you lose a certain quality to the muscle. Even if you get away from the heavyweights for just a few weeks, you lose that real density, the hardness to the muscle. So yeah, you're doing that. Was that your idea, or did Matt come up with that?
No, that was my idea. You know, I saw who was it? Oh, Nate Spears. This guy Nate Spears. I saw him. He posted something on Instagram, and I posted something about if you're in prep and you're lifting to just get a pump. You know what I mean? You're going to lose this muscle, that look of the muscle. And like I said, I never lifted to a pump, but I know I lined it up. So when I saw that, you know what, I was just like, you know what? I'm just about to go kamikaze. You know what I mean? I'm always safe when I train, like form. I always like, there ain't too many people out there that's on a pro level that trains like I train, that got form like I do, that executes the every movement like I do. I take pride in my form. I take pride in not just moving the weight. I want to feel the weight. You know what I mean? So I take pride in that. So I'm always very good with that. So even when I'm going super heavy, I'm always in control of the weight, this and that, and that. So yeah, this time around, I just kept the shit heavy as possible and just kept pushing it. Yeah.
Right. So I'm just curious, what did you weigh the last time you were competing? Let's say Tampa 2019. What do you think you might weigh this Saturday?
Tampa 2019, what we were trying to do, because we knew Dexter was doing the show, and we were trying to come in just shred it to the bone. And it wasn't my best look. I don't like that look. And I got down to like 236, 235, and we just got down that low. This time around, I'll probably be on stage. I'll probably be anywhere between 243 and 245. I'll be on stage, 243 and 245. So yeah, it's going to be a whole different look.
Yeah, you've been posting up. I'm really impressed by the back shots. Was your back always that good, or is that a recent thing?
No, that's my back has always been one of my back has always been good. And like I said, it's just like me keeping that weight just nasty heavy. You know what I mean? Keeping the rack pulls, 5-6 plates on the rack pull. I'm keeping that all the way through prep. Heavy rows, the 180-pound rows, all the way through that. You know, everything I'm doing heavy. The cable rows, or my one arm cable rows. I'm keep doing the whole stack. I just kept everything heavy. And like I said, if I keep it all heavy, and you go back and look at all my videos and I execute it, you know, my form is execution is there. You know what I mean? I take pride in how my form is and everything.
Yeah, tell people to go to the right Instagram, man. Now everyone's got to check this out. It's Charles. What is it?
Charles Griffen _IFBB Pro.
Okay. No definition in there?
No definition in there.
Where'd you get that nickname?
You know, we were just coming up, because when I started bodybuilding, they were like, you got to come up with a nickname. And I was just like, definition, Griffen. Oh, and it just popped in my head, and it rhymed with Griffen. So the definition.
Yeah. I like it. It does put a little pressure on you to be shredded every time, though. That's like the blade.
Oh yeah.
You know, I've never seen you out of shape remotely at a show. No.
I know.
Man, because you know, we just did a preview, Giles and I, probably might even air the same day as this, and I'm looking at this list. It's a hell of a lineup, but you know what? I think you could. Ian's my favorite, but I want to see you and Ian pose for pose. I want to see that comparison for sure. Because yeah, I have no idea what you guys are going to look like next to each other. We got Max Charles in there. We got Muhammad El Alam, Shaban. It's a really good lineup, but I think you have as good a chance as anybody, honestly.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be exciting because, man, the 2 years flew by. Because I don't know if you'd say flew by, because 2020 was like 10 years long for everybody, but yeah, I can't believe it's been 2 years since that Tampa Pro that Dexter won, Luke Sando was second. Tampa
Pro, that was Tampa Pro. So we about to come back to Tampa, and we gonna erase what we did at Tampa last time, and we're gonna something totally different this time. So it's on.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm sure you want to get back to Olympia because you've been there
Oh,
once, and
I want to get back to Olympia. I want to get it done this weekend. So that's the goal, and that's what we're training for. You know what I mean? We're trying to get it done this weekend. So we just got to do the little finishing touches. Everything is there. We just got to, now it's time to just dry me out like the Arizona desert. So that's what. Yes.
I always say Sahara, but Arizona is pretty much a desert too, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm curious
because that's where I'm born at. Born and raised in Arizona. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know anybody was born and raised in Arizona. There's like no water.
Yeah.
Wow. God. What a. All I know it is from the Roadrunner cartoons. Wasn't that Arizona? I don't know.
Yeah.
Look like. Man, I'm just curious. When you talked about growing into the show, did that allow you to eat more in this prep than you might have been able to in preps past where you're coming down?
Yes, it's allowed me to eat more like every weekend. Man, like every weekend I was getting huge refeeds plus a cheat meal. So every Saturday or Sunday I was getting like, so I was getting like 420 grams of rice on 5 meals. 5 meals, and I'm getting 8 ounces of protein every meal, and then I was getting a cheat meal as well.
Nice.
Couple weekends I got double refeeds where I got that what I just told you on Saturday, then I got it on Sunday. You know what I mean? So I've been getting this past Saturday I went out to the NPC USA's because my girlfriend competed at the NPC USA's, and it was good just to get away from Minnesota, get away from training all my clients, just get around the bodybuilding environment, see a lot of people that recognize me, take pictures. It was very motivating. And, this weekend I had got another fat refeed, you know what I mean? So it was just a fat cheat meal. I got to have a cheat meal with my girl and her family and everything like that. And my body's just sucking it up. So yeah, I've never got as many refeeds and cheat meals as I got this prep. So it was lovely.
Yeah, I mean, it's working because, I mean, you put up one shot last few days ago. I think you were leaning forward in your chest. You had the striations were like an inch deep.
See, no, that was a throwback. That was a throwback. That was a throwback on the NPC USA's when I competed at USA's. But my chest is looking like that, though.
I hope it still looks like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's deadly because I'm old. I was around the 90s at the shows, and you see guys a lot of times who are lean now, but they don't have really crisp, clear striations and separations all the time. So I'm always looking for that. So when someone has the mass and the quality to the muscle, to me, it just adds another level of impressiveness to the physique. And
yes, it does.
And you have that. So yeah, man, it's going to be a battle in Tampa. I like battles. I don't want it to be easy for you or for Ian or anybody. I want it to be, where you're just like, I don't know what's going to happen. These guys are all incredible.
Seen a couple guys, I'm not knocking them because, if I was ready, I'd probably done the same thing. But me, I'd rather do a little battling, you know what I mean? Because a couple people I saw, they were supposed to do this show and then they decided to do a show earlier because, it might have been an easier qualification. Yeah. Not saying that's a bad thing to do this and that, because if I was ready, I'd probably have been like, you know what? The goal is to get to Olympia, you know what I mean? So let me go ahead and do this show because this person, it might be a little easier win, but we about to battle right here in Tampa. It's going to be a battle, so I'm excited.
Right on. Well, I'm excited to see you back, Charles. You have been missed. You have been missed on the pro stages. It's been a while. People have short memories. A lot of people have already forgotten about you, or some people are newer fans. They don't even know about you yet.
And I was just talking to my girl a few weeks back. I'm like, dang, man. They act like, they don't remember who I am, man. I've only done a couple shows, man, and my track record speaks for itself. But I took a little break off the stage. They act like they don't love me no more, man. They act like they don't know who I was. But now my name is rumbling. Now my name is in everybody's mouth. And, my Instagram is booming. Everything's coming together. So they remember now. They're remembering now. So they had a little amnesia for a little bit. Yeah, they woke up.
People need to be reminded, that's all.
Yeah.
So this Saturday, they will be reminded very much so who Charles Griffen is.
Yes, sir.
You're going to be right up there.
Yes, sir.
Looking forward to it. So Charles, welcome back. Welcome back to competition. It's been too long. I wanted to see you in a lot of shows and you weren't there, but thank God you're back now. So this Saturday, Tampa Pro guys, go to Tim Gardner Productions for the pay-per-view. And musculardevelopment.com on the No Bull forum. We're going to have a live play-by-play where I upload tons of pictures so you guys can follow along with all the action. and see how this guy does. I think he's going to do very, very well.
And I'll be giving updates throughout. You know, it's only Wednesday, so I'll be giving updates throughout. So Charles Griffen _ IFBB Pro. Make sure everybody come check me out. Yeah. Check out what we about to do. Me and Matt Jansen. We about to do some magic out there. It's on. I'm excited.
Cool, man. All right, we'll see you there. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching Ronline Report with Charles, the Definition Griffen. You'll see him this Saturday on stage, Tampa, Florida. Thanks for watching.